Yeah, we have just arrived here in the last couple of minutes here to 9th in Oshkosh, where you can see the standing water on the roadways right now. This is becoming kind of commonplace for residents here. I remember being here about a year ago covering a similar setup of flooding on this street, and I found someone who found me. She's like, "Justin, is that you again?" This is an annual date we don't want to have, is it, Marie?
Right. No, we don't.
Last time we spoke, there was a little bit of, what can you do, but what is your emotion like right now? Is it still a helplessness, or how are you feeling?
Yes. And I was talking to the friend of mine that was here, and I said, I think I'm ready to sell my house. And he goes, Marie, I can try and fix something for you. And if he can do that, I'd like to stay. But the support we're not getting the support from Oshkosh right now for this. So it makes you want to sell and move away.
Yeah, we're along 9th Avenue right now in Oshkosh, whereas you look to the left here, you can still see plenty of flooding on the streets, but this rain, water, and all this excess was not confined just to the streets. It was entering a lot of homes here along 9th, and there's some of the residents that have been coming out to speak with me here this morning a little bit more about it. Eric Tesh, whose house is just down the way, they're a little farther than we can get to safely through this water, is joining us right now. This doesn't happen when you get a steady rain throughout the day that might equal out to 3 inches of rain, but this is when you have these kind of intense bouts that have happened before. How many times have you gone through something like this?
This is the second time in less than a year.
Okay.
Now, I was told by another neighbor that the quarry pumps water out, and that's where a lot of the problems come from. And when we've called the city, they said there's nothing they can do about it. It's on their schedule. 5 years ago, they were supposed to fix this road, from what my neighbors have been telling me, and they ran out of funding. Me and my wife moved here we've only been here a year. New homeowners, and this is the second time now that we've had to deal with this. I'm missing work for this, and the city of Oshkosh does nothing. I don't think the city of Oshkosh cares too much about their people here, because the other people that I've talked to said that this happens all the time.
I've reached out to the City of Oshkosh Public Works Department to hear their thoughts on this flood-prone area here at 9th Avenue, to hear what they have to say about the mitigation process, if any, that might be involved with that. We have yet to hear back from them this morning. We will continue to try to get their side of this story as we go through the morning ahead of us. In the meantime, it's cleanup for many of these folks who continue to work on trying to get the water out of their basement. As many of these storm drains, there's a storm drain right there, and it's not taking down the water yet very much here across portions of 9th Avenue in Oshkosh.
A live report from Justin Steinbrink, who has, yes, he is not, he hasn't rolled up his sleeves, but he's rolled up his pants this morning as he is down in a basement that's flooded in Oshkosh. More on what's happening there and why this has happened again after 9 months.
And seeing how the street flooding is certainly a problem for those trying to travel down 9th Avenue here, but along 9th Avenue, many of the residents are now dealing with the aftermath of the rain from this, which is Marie Weber's basement right now, where it is flooded, standing water sitting right now, floating items all around her basement. We have joining us right now the Public Works Director here with the City of Oshkosh. This is James Robbie. Thank you so much for being with us, James. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin.
Give us a little background into what has happened over the past, really 12 to 18 hours here with all the rain we've seen.
Yeah, and starting yesterday afternoon, we started getting some heavy storms rolling through. Had a little bit of a break yesterday evening.
9th Avenue, as we're seeing right here, is prone to flooding. Many of these residents are dealing with basement flooding for the second time in 9 months. What do you say to them when they say that this is something that needs some sort of solution brought to it?
Really, we are working on solutions for this area. It started back in 2017, 2018 with the South Park Lagoon project. In 2019, 2020, we started with the replacement of the storm sewer outfall for this area. This area goes into a large storm sewer and kind of zigzags through several streets.
So far with the updates, would you say it's working? I think the residents here on 9th would say it's not.
We're having some improvements, but you're right, there's a lot of work left to be done.
What do you say to residents watching right now who are mad? Who are dealing with flooded basements? They hear about these projects, but it doesn't help them today. What do you want to have them know here this morning, James?
I think the biggest challenge and the biggest struggle with that is, we know this is a problem. We are continuing to work on it. We can't, wave a wand and make it happen. You mentioned fiscally responsible. We have to be responsible to all of the stormwater utility ratepayers. So we are trying to be very strategic about it. We've made big improvements in a lot of other watersheds, and this is one that we are working on and focusing on here in the next several years.
All right, James Robbie with the Public Works Director here at the City of Oshkosh. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Justin.
And your candidness. Obviously, residents here have been dealing with this second time in 9 months that many of them have feet of water standing in their basement. They'd like to see a solution to this sooner rather than later, that's for sure.